morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're viewing this. My name is Mike. I am the Crypto Liberal. Thanks for joining me again today. I truly appreciate it. I honestly, truly appreciate everybody that watches my videos, that follows me, that likes my videos, that comments, or even shares them. Share them, far and wide, because frankly, we are destroying the competition. Everything we talk about on these videos comes true. I'm sorry to say, we are crushing your crypto influencers that you've been following. We are crushing them, and we're going to prove it. We're going to show you the journey we've been on for almost 18 weeks on this channel, right? So I haven't made a video for a little bit again because I need some motivation. I need some people. I need more followers, right? I love the followers that I have, but I need more. I need more motivation. And if you appreciate the accurate predictions, right? None of this is financial advice. It's just what I think is going to happen. If you appreciate that, if you learn something from these videos, if you appreciate the transparency that we have on this channel, give me a like, give me a subscribe, hit that bell notification so you know when I'm putting something out. Follow me on Twitter at @crypto_liberal. So let's start with Bitcoin. To be honest, we have nailed the Bitcoin movement exactly. Like I said, I started this channel 18 weeks ago, and frankly, everything we've talked about is come to fruition. So let's look at it. Let's look at Bitcoin. So if you're new to my channel, we follow the daily chart, Bitcoin versus the US dollar daily chart on Coinbase, right? That's what we're looking at right here. So let's shrink this up. I want to go back to the beginning. I mean, before I started this channel, before 18 weeks ago, right? So follow this, what you're going to see is the middle red line, okay? The middle red line. Okay, we're going back over a year. Back to the beginning, right? So March of last year, March of 2021. See the middle red line? See how that red line, we had never been this high before in Bitcoin. But we got up there, and then this middle red line started being key. Like it's like the pivot point for everything that's happened after this, right? So we got up to these levels for the first time in Bitcoin's history. And so March of 2021, that middle red line acts as resistance, right? Nice, okay? But we're just getting started. We break through it. After we break it, we come back down and test it as support in March, end of March of 2021. Perfect, right? We go up to about 64,000, our all-time high at that point, and then we crash back down to the middle red line in April of 2021, right? We bounce off it, it's perfect support, beautiful, but then we crash below it. And remember last summer, we crashed and everybody thought everything was over already, we were done for, and we stayed below that red line for 3 months and came back up and tested it as support. Right? Look at that. In August of last year, tested as support, got rejected for just a little bit of time, and then we broke above it. And we weren't in the clear yet. We had to come back down and test it as support. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Came back down and tested it as support in September of last year. And then off to the races, off to 69,000. Remember that? So we went to 69,000, then we started coming back down. Came back down in January of this year. That middle red line acted as support. It acted as support very briefly. It looks like a wick in February of this year. Came back down, and this is about where I started my channel, right before we got down to the red line again. And that's when I told you about that red line before we hit it. Go back and watch my early videos. We were talking about that red line before we went below it. And I told you I thought it was going to act as support. That's the one thing in 18 weeks that I've gotten wrong, right? I thought it was going to act as support. And it did for a month and a half, or over a month, right? Hit it in May and all the way till June, middle of June, right? It acted as support perfectly, beautifully. The one thing I didn't anticipate is crypto being like every other industry in the world, right? The greed, the out and out greed of these millionaires who take your crypto that you advanced to an exchange and thought was safe, and they start lending it out to God knows who, and don't take back any security to, to safeguard that loan, and everything went haywire, right? And Terra Luna and Celsius and the other ones are escaping me at this moment, right? Voyager, that was the other one I was trying to think of. Voyager, they all go bankrupt, belly up, right? Because of their corrupt and lack of safeguards, lack of security in lending out their or your crypto, really. So we broke below it, right? That's the one thing I didn't anticipate, and we've been below it since. But I told you about this red line before we hit it, 18 weeks ago when I started this channel. And after we broke below it, I've been clear. That red line is going to be strong resistance. And so let's expand it out again. I told you back here, that red line is going to be, that upper red line up here is going to be resistance. And what happened? Right here. We were hitting it as resistance, right? I made a video at that time. Go back and watch that video. Go back and watch those videos. We were at resistance. And everybody on crypto Twitter, everybody on crypto YouTube was telling you we were going to 28,000. They were telling you we were going to 30, 35, 40,000. I told you don't follow them. Do not listen to them. They are asking you to advance your crypto. Click on their link. Advance your crypto to an exchange. I get a kickback. You get a bonus. Everybody's great. I told you we were at resistance. Do not follow them. Do not trade on leverage at resistance. It's a fool's game. They're playing you just to line their pockets with a few extra dollars. These guys are claiming to be millionaires. They're claiming to be billionaires, and they're trying to skim a little skin off of you to play it in their game. I will never do that on this channel. I will never ask you to click on my link so I can get a little bit of a kickback off of your hard-earned money. It's your hard-earned crypto. Do not fork it over to anybody. Do not follow these people. You know who they are. They're some of the most popular people in the crypto space on YouTube. And every single last one of them at that time, at that point, every single last one of them, I have a video of it, was telling you we were going to 30,000, 35,000 higher. And I told you we were at resistance. I was clear. We were going back down. And in fact, I said if we break below this blue line right here, we're going to visit the red line at 20,000. I was clear. I said that several times on my videos. Go back and watch. And what happened? We broke the blue line, and now we're at the red line, this lower red line. And where does that come from? We know where this upper red line comes from. It's proven. It's a proven pivot point between resistance and support going back well over a year, almost 2 years at this point. Where does this lower red line come from? Well, after we crashed down after Terra Luna, we set our lows right here at 18.9. That's where the candle closed. We wicked down to what, 17.5, something like that. But that was our low. Then we set a higher low. Then we set another higher low. And I said we're going to come back down and visit it. And here we are. But we didn't hold it. And now what's happening, right? Are you surprised it's acting as resistance? We're still, now we've got another line of resistance, right? Another line of resistance. So, as I've been telling you for months at this point, the path of least resistance right now is lower. I think we're going back down to that blue line. And I've said it before. It hasn't happened yet. I think we're coming back down to this blue line at 18.9 approximately. And that comes from the candle close at our lowest this summer, right? After the Terra Luna dump, we closed at 18.9. That might not hold either. I think it might offer some support, but I'm not saying it's going to hold. But I think we're going there. This is not financial advice. Don't listen to me just because I'm saying it and have been eerily accurate in my statements on this channel. Do your own research. Make your own financial decisions. But that's what I'm thinking. Right? We're going down to that blue line, at least. We'll see. But does that bother me? Not in the least. I don't have any flipping Bitcoin if you watch my channel. I mean, I have like fractions of Bitcoin at this point. And why don't I? Why don't I have Bitcoin? Because several weeks ago, on a Sunday night, I made a video. I told you I was getting out of Bitcoin, but I wasn't just doing nothing with it. I was moving it from Bitcoin into ADA and Ethereum. Really just two positions. And so let's go back and look at, well, I don't want to bring up the video, but let's go back and look at the chart for Ethereum. Again, recap where we've been on this channel and why you deserve, or why I deserve more followers, why you should share this video, why you should like it and subscribe. Please do me a favor, right? Because we're killing it. And I hope you appreciate that. So let's go back and look. So if you're new, right, we follow the Ethereum chart versus Bitcoin. The ETH, can't spell ETH versus Bitcoin, okay? And we on the Coinbase chart, and we follow the weekly chart. These are not short-term trades. I'm not asking you to get in a trade in, one day and out the next, right? But go back here. Go back to this date, the week of June 6th, right? When we hit this red line, this ascending red line right here. Where does that come from? Well, over a year ago, back here in March of last year, of 2021, and December of 2020, we hit that red line. And so I dragged it forward, and on the night we hit it, that Sunday night, I came on and said, I'm moving out of Bitcoin and putting into Ethereum. June 6th, remember that date. It's key, June 6th. That's the week of June 6th, right? And I told you on that night, I was on a video, go back and find it. When one Ethereum was worth 0.052 Bitcoin, I said, I'm moving out of Bitcoin and putting into Ethereum. And what happened after that? The next 9 weeks, look at that. 8 of them green. And I was clear in the days that followed when we moved out of Bitcoin into Ethereum that I was looking for Ethereum to go to this upper blue line. Right? That was our target for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I was clear. I was transparent, right? I got out right before we hit that blue line. I put it on Twitter. Follow me there at @crypto_liberal. I put it on a video on here on this channel that I was getting out. I was moving out after a 50%. Well, I got out at 45%. But basically, if you had held a day or two longer, you got a 50% return, even higher. So I'm going to call it 50%. A 50% return. That was our stated target, and we hit it pretty much perfectly. Right? Pretty much perfectly. We called it from beginning to end. I told you to get in at the exact moment to get in, right? At the exact moment, it was primed to turn against Bitcoin, to turn positive against Bitcoin. Not 3 weeks too early, not 3 weeks too late. I told you at the exact moment that I was getting in, and it proved to be the exact best moment to get in, right? Not, if I told you 3 weeks later, that 50% return is probably like 30 or something, right? We maximized the profit on that trade exactly. So if you appreciate that, do me a favor. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. So what am I expecting for Ethereum now, right? We hit our target, hit this blue line. Look, we wicked above, or we went above it, right? We closed a candle above that blue line. And I have a video out there somewhere. I said, I don't trust this. And then the next 2 weeks we went down, right? And now we're back above it this week, but I still don't trust it. Here's what I'm expecting for Ethereum. I'm expecting us to come back down and hit this red line at some point. Why is that? Let's look at this. It's a chart. It's an ascending triangle. Let's look at it. See, the bottom red line is the ascending part of the triangle. The upper blue line, where you can see is acted as resistance, is the parallel upper bound range resistance of our chart. It's an ascending triangle, but the apex of this triangle is way out in the future. It's like, let's see if we can find it here, right? It's in September of next year. September 2023 is the apex. So that's a long ways away. And usually charts don't break that far in advance of an apex. So that all means I'm expecting Ethereum to come back down and test this red line. And if and when that happens, I will get back into Ethereum and ride it out. In the end, I do expect this upper blue line to break and go on a run against Bitcoin. And if that happens, I will also get into Ethereum. But like the Bitcoin chart, right? What I would need to see happen is I need to see this resistance break, which it already has, hold for a month or two. come back down and test this blue line as support. If it holds as support and breaks higher, then I would get into Ethereum. And only then. But I'm not worried about it because we've already made a 50% return. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. I'm pumped, right? Because that's not even the end of our story. That's just the beginning of our story. So how about ADA? How are we doing on our ADA trade, right? That same night that I told you I was moving out of Bitcoin and moving into ADA and expecting a 50% return, I also told you I'm moving out of Bitcoin and putting into ADA, which I expect a 2x, a 3x return. Now, I was clear also back then that the Ethereum return would come quicker, which it obviously did. But the ADA return might be a year-long trade, a year and a half long trade. In fact, and it's kind of ebbed and flowed, right? We had a great first week after we got in, and then it's kind of remained stagnant. But a week ago, I told you something was about to change. And let's watch that video from a week and a day ago, last Friday, a week and 1 day ago. What did I say? Let's look at that.
We are nailing it on this channel. I'm so pumped. Even when we're going down, right? I am dollar cost averaging. I put more money into ADA today. ADA is going to scream higher by the end of the year, I think. Scream higher. It's going to crush Bitcoin by the end of the year. Right?
Okay.
We need to spread the...
So, how's that looking? In the last week? Well, let's start with today. Now, if you've been following my channel for 18 weeks, I've been almost doing it for 18 weeks. I've been telling you, any new money put into ADA will outperform Ethereum and Bitcoin pay attention to the time frames, by the end of the year, a year from now and 5 years from now, ADA will be number one, right? Outperforming. And then also with that, any new money put into Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin by those same time frames. And I don't just say things and then forget about them or don't go back to them to prove to you that either I'm right or I'm wrong, right? I collect data to prove what I'm saying is accurate. I'm not going to let you forget what I said, either right or wrong, right? I try to be transparent on this channel. I try to collect data to prove to you my hypothesis. And how do we do that? Well, every week we've been doing it. 17 weeks we've done it. We dollar cost average into those three cryptos, $100 each week. And we track the performance. So we put $1,700 into those three cryptos each, $100 each week for 17 weeks. How's that portfolio looking? Well, look at this. ADA is already outperforming Bitcoin. Ethereum is already outperforming Bitcoin. But look at a week and a day ago, I told you ADA was primed to scream higher. It was on the cusp. What's happening today? ADA is up 6.4% today alone. Bitcoin's down almost 1%. Ethereum's down over 1%. Meaning ADA is outperforming Bitcoin and Ethereum by 7-8% today alone. In 1 day. Is that not screaming higher? A week and a day ago, I told you it was ready to scream higher. If you appreciate that, please give me a like, give me a subscribe. These alternative voices need to be out there. These Bitcoin maxis, they don't know what they're missing, right? Right? So, let's look at the ADA chart because it goes beyond that, right? ADA versus Bitcoin, right? That's what we're looking at on the Coinbase chart. And again, we're looking at the weekly chart. Okay. So let's expand this out a little bit. Okay. So look at this. So what we're trading on, right, is this descending wedge, right? That goes back to August of 2021. And look at how it's held as support, the descending wedge, and acted as resistance, those two lines. Well, remember that week of June 6th, remember that from the Ethereum chart? I got on that video that Sunday night and said, I'm moving out of Bitcoin and putting it into Ethereum. I'm putting it into ADA. And what happened that next week, right? I told you at the exact moment we broke out of that out of that descending wedge. I told you at the exact moment, not 3 weeks late, because if we were 3 weeks late, you would make nothing so far versus Bitcoin. But we had this giant green candle at the week after I told you I'm moving out of Bitcoin, putting it into ADA. Had a giant green candle. And we moved sideways ever since then. But look at this week. A week and a day after I told you it was ready to scream higher. And what's happened? This candle, right? If it closed right here, right now, it'd be higher than any other green candle or any other candle closed since we moved out of Bitcoin and put it into ADA. And what is the return so far? Right? Well, let's look at it. I told you back here when one ADA was worth 0.000019 Bitcoin, approximately. And right now we're at 0.00002444 Bitcoin. That's like 25-30% return versus Bitcoin. We're killing it on this channel. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. So that's one thing that drives me crazy. I mean, let's say you're a Bitcoin maxi, right? Let's say that's your only goal is to stack sats, right? Well, maybe you should be following this channel too. Because the week of June 6th, I told you I was moving out of Bitcoin and putting it into Ethereum. And if you had done that and got out when I got out, got in when I got in, got in when I got out, and you took one Bitcoin and moved it into Ethereum, you'd had 1.5 Bitcoin without trading on leverage. Right? You could have moved 2 Bitcoin into Ethereum and you'd have 3 Bitcoin without trading on leverage, without following these fools who are telling you that Bitcoin's on its way to 30,000 when we're at resistance. No. So if you're a Bitcoin maxi, maybe you should be following this channel because you could be stacking sats. You could have turned 2 Bitcoin into 3 Bitcoin in the matter of 9 weeks. 9 weeks. And that's not even it, right? How about ADA, where we've got a 25-30% return? We'll just call it 30 because that's where we're going. We're going above 30. You could have, if you followed me in, you could have turned 1 Bitcoin into 1.3, 2 Bitcoin into 2.6, right? And you'd still, even if you're still in those positions, you're still beating Bitcoin. Since the moment I told you that maybe get out of Bitcoin, it might be a good idea. If your whole purpose in life is to stack sats, you better be following this channel. If your whole purpose in life is to find the best cryptos at the best time, I hope you're following this channel. Give me a like, give me a subscribe. So what am I expecting for ADA? Back to the chart real quick. So I'm expecting to come back to ADA eventually. Like I said, this is a long trade, a year's trade, a year from now maybe, to come back up to the top of this wedge, which is, approximately 0.00006 Bitcoin. Remember we got in at 0.000019 Bitcoin? So if you go to 0.00006 Bitcoin, you could turn 1 Bitcoin into 3, 2 Bitcoin into 6, 3 Bitcoin into 9. If that's your whole purpose. Or you could just leave it in ADA and crush it against Bitcoin, crush it against the dollar, crush it against everything. That's what's going to happen, in my opinion, not financial advice. So, I'm still convinced ADA is going to scream higher by the end of the year. And you can continue to watch these videos and hopefully learn something. And I hope you get some sort of good information from my channel and put it into practice in your own life and your own trading. And, but please don't follow what I'm doing just because I'm doing it, even though I'm killing it, right? But look at your own financial situation, make your own financial decisions, do your own financial research. And I think you'll come to the same conclusions. Cardano is going to crush Bitcoin by the end of the year. I told you a week and a day ago that it's going to scream higher by the end of the year. And we're already up 10% since that video, pretty much, against Bitcoin. A week and a day. That's after we made 50% on Ethereum. That's after we've already made 25% on ADA, right? Well, maybe it was like 15%. Now we're at 25-30%. So but you get the gist of it, right? We're nailing it on this channel. So, I need some extra motivation to keep making these videos. I've taken some days off here because, frankly, I'm just not getting the followers, and it kind of kind of disappoints me when I see some of these crypto influencers who were telling you a few weeks ago we're 28, 30, we're going to go to 28, 30,000 in Bitcoin, and they have tens of thousands, if not millions of people, that hundreds of thousands of people that follow them. And here I am nailing these movements, and I'm not getting any followers. And I realize I'm not the most exciting person in the world, and my video quality, right? I just take out my phone and just make a video real quick. Don't do any editing or anything like that. But what are you here for? Are you here for entertainment or actual, analysis of the markets and the charts that play out perfectly? I choose the latter. So if you agree with that, if you like the transparency of this channel, if you like the analysis of the channel, do me a favor, please. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a follow, give me a comment, share the video. That's all I have for today. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. I truly appreciate each and every one of you that watches and likes and comments and follows me. I truly appreciate it. I hope you have a great weekend. My name is Mike. I am the Crypto Liberal. Ban the guns. Good night.